Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the last section of our local anesthetic portion. We will discuss today local anesthetics used in eye surgery. So let's start. Ophthalmic anesthetic comprises of these following drugs: tetracaine, this is a ester series; oxybuprocaine, this is also ester series, which consists here 1, 2, 3, 4 butoxy and here amine. Proximetacaine, this is also ester series, just opposite like that of oxybuprocaine its structure. In oxybuprocaine, the amino group was at 1, 2, 3, 4th position. Okay, look here. Here amino position was at 1, 2, 3, 4th position, and in proximetacaine the amino position is at 1, 2, 3 position. So that's why it is meta written here, proximetacaine. Okay, and next lidocaine, this is amide series compound, and last bupivacaine, this is also amide series compound. For a surface anesthesia of the cornea and conjunctival sac, you must know where the cornea and conjunctival sac lies. This empty portion you can see here, this is cornea, and the portion above this cornea which is coating this cornea is conjunctival sac. For surface anesthesia of the cornea and the conjunctival sac, a topical tetracaine 1% solution produces rapid anesthesia which lasts for up to 20 minutes. The anesthesia is profound and suitable for the removal of corneal sutures. Here in dark lining you can see here this dark lining, these are corneal sutures, and for removal of these corneal sutures tetracaine is used. Next, it does cause stinging when first instilled, and for this reason either oxybuprocaine or proximetacaine may be preferred, especially in children. The action is rapid but less well sustained, which makes it very useful for accident and emergency work, as corneal sensitivity is regained soon and the patient is able to do its other activities as regular. Lidocaine is used as an injection both into the eyelids and as retrobulbar and peribulbar injection. Here you can see here this space, this is extracorneal or peribulbar space, and the space outside it is extracorneal or peribulbar. The space here you can see this inside, it is intracorneal or retrobulbar space. Lidocaine is used as injection both into the eyelids and as retrobulbar and peribulbar injections for globe surgery. And lidocaine and fluorescein both together are available for tonometry. And fluorescein does not stain. What is fluorescence? Okay, fluorescence does not stain a normal cornea, but conjunctival aberrations are stained yellow. Here you can see this conjunctival aberrations are stained as yellow or orange, and corneal abrasions or ulcers are stained as bright green. You can see here these corneal abrasions are stained as bright green, and foreign bodies are surrounded by a green ring. Fluorescein can be used in diagnostic examinations including Goldmann tonometry. Goldmann was the first scientist who devised this equipment for measuring the eye pressure, so it is named Goldmann tonometry. And in the fitting of hard contact lenses, generally fluorescein is not used for in the fitting of soft contact lenses, because fluorescence will color these soft contact lenses, so it is only used for the fitting of hard contact lenses. And for the diagnostic examinations using tonometry, fluorescein is used for a better examination or better visibility. Here how the tonometry is done, how the pressure is being calculated. Tonometry is the procedure eye care professionals perform to determine the intraocular pressure, the fluid pressure inside the eye. And of the retrobulbar injection, we had prepared it previously, this term was there. For retrobulbar injection, lidocaine 1% up to a total volume of 2 to 4 ml is used. When a prolonged period of analgesia is required, a mixture of lidocaine and bupivacaine is effective. All these anesthetic agents can be combined with adrenaline, epinephrine, but these combinations are usually avoided by ophthalmic surgeons in view of the danger of injecting directly into an orbital vein because it may cause vasospasm leading to retinal ischemia. Means if the retina is not going to get enough blood, there can be cell death in the retina and retina can be damaged. Next, lidocaine is used and tetracaine. For cataract surgery, lidocaine 2% jelly, proparacaine 0.5% and tetracaine 0.75% is used. And for in case of peribulbar anesthesia, for this procedure a large volume injection is given amounting to 8 or 10 ml. As preliminary, the conjunctiva is anesthetized using a few drops of tetracaine. A mixture of lidocaine and bupivacaine is used for injection. Such a volume does cause an excessive pressure on the outside of the eye for intraocular surgery to be safely performed. So this was all for the local anesthetics used in eye surgery. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, problems or complaints, you can comment in the comment section. Till then, thank you.